our mentality as seniors was by the fourth quarter is we should be up by 21 so we can give, the second string, which was people like Sean Taylor and Kellen Winslow and Frank Gore and all those guys, the opportunity to get in and get some reps. You know what I mean? And we did that for every game except 2 games.
That's crazy.
The fact that you just said we putting our 2s in and you said Sean Taylor and Frank Gore. That's just how deep the depth, that's how deep the depth chart was. I don't think people actually understand that. Like that's the 2s and 3s were future first round picks. Like what up, everybody? I'm Peanut Tillman, and this is the NFL Players Second Acts podcast. And with me, as always, as my trusty co-host, Roman, I like pineapples, Harper.
This is not pineapples, but thank you for it. It is yellow. But I'm really looking forward to our next guest. Number one, I played with him on the video game back in the day with NCAA 2A. He was on my favorite college football team of all time. So, and a great NFL player for one of the greatest. So, here we go, Peanut. Go ahead.
7th overall pick in the 2002 draft. Coming to you from the University of Miami. Pro Bowl left tackle for the Vikings, Ravens, and the Dolphins. Super Bowl champion with the Ravens. He's a mental health advocate for the NFL players and the COO of Let's Chat. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the pod, Bryant McKinnie.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
You got to clap for yourself sometimes, too.
Let me
hear that yeah again.
Yeah. Sound real enthusiastic, right?
Yeah, you give me a little bit more than that. Yeah. Welcome to the pod, bro.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we got you a nice chair that actually fits. This is probably the first time we've ever had to move the chair because this is a large human being and we had like a little prop baby chair set up for
part of my wardrobe or something. That little chair I was sitting in.
Yeah, we like it. I was just seeing you sprawled out and you're like, brother, you look like this chair fits you way more than the chair we had previously. My first question to you, this is completely off the top and I just thought about it when I just saw you sit down. Man, what size shoe you wear? Because I got pretty big size feet. Big dookie.
So,
what size shoe you wear?
I wear 18. So,
18s.
People who need to find big sizes go to a website called oddball.com.
Oddball?
Oddball. ODDball.com. And they have all the sizes go up to I think at least 19.
So when you were younger, I know this because my roommate in college, you didn't just go into the store like, hey, y'all got these in the 12, y'all got these in the 15.
I'm going to say by the time I turned because my size was my age. So when I was about 13, 14, I wore 13 or 14. So that's when I had to start ordering shoes. There was a place in Atlanta my mom used to order from. Can't remember the name, but she had to find a place to start ordering shoes by the time I was in high school.
Yeah. My roommate used to be like, hey, y'all got anything in a 15 and y'all got anything in a 17.
It's hard.
Like you didn't even get to choose. It just was like, hey, what you got in 15? I take what you got.
Literally, whatever shoe they have in the store, that's whatever size you like, that's what you got.
You got to kind of figure out I guess.
I bet your shoe game was wow. Was it? To be that big and just take?
My mom, during Christmas, my birthday, she would really try to load up on stuff. So those were the 2 times a year where I got new things. I grew a lot. I grew. Clearly, if my shoe size was my age, I was outgrowing everything. So yeah, but I feel like she did a decent job. And then when I finally got to the league, I was finding places. I was searching. So I was trying to keep up with everybody. So I would use my resources and find places.
Big boys always think they sexy. They try to.
Now, this guy is legendary. So legendary? Yeah, legendary. So ain't no trying. This guy's legendary.
Right, so you try?
Legendary, big sexy.
Yes, he is. I want to know this. How many Hall of Famers are you in? Do you even know? I like Hall of Fames.
Hall of Fames. You said that wrong. How many Hall of Fames are you in?
Yes.
I'm in 3 right now. High school, University of Miami, and then college.
When you become a Hall of Famer in anything, what does that mean to you?
It kind of means a lot because that wasn't what I played just to be good in my position, not realizing that it would lead to that. So me playing was I don't want to get yelled at in the film room, so just go out here and do your job. So when in college, that consisted of don't give up a sack, you don't get yelled at. So my whole thing was not getting yelled at and embarrassed. So I'm out here trying to do my job from that standpoint. And it just turned out that I was actually doing really good. I was doing probably better than I expected. One, because I didn't start playing football until 9th grade because I was, back then you had the size and the height and the age and all that mattered.
It's like with weight and stuff.
Yeah, so me, if I'm like 12, I probably was supposed to be playing with people that's 3 years older than me, so I couldn't play till I got to high school where it didn't matter anymore. So, and then in high school, I played defensive end. And I had to learn offensive line when I went to JUCO and learned offensive line there. So I was just playing to just not be in trouble. Like, I don't want to hear nobody mouth. Just go out here, do what you tell me to do, and
so were you like a killer? Like, because if you start that late,
or was you like a blind side? Was you like Big Mike, just all big and nice and all?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was always competitive though, so like if I did something, I wanted to be good at it.
Yeah.
Even I play tennis now, and the first time I started playing tennis, I was terrible. I went and got lessons, didn't tell anybody, and the next year I came back, and they expected me to be and I was like, wait, what happened? I'm like, yeah. I was playing. My tennis lessons carried over so much that like my team knew. So even when I went to the Super Bowl with the Ravens, Coach Harbaugh made me bring my tennis equipment, and I had to play on Thursday because I always played on Thursdays after I would eat dinner. I would go take a tennis lesson and weigh in on Friday. So he made me do the same thing. Super Bowl week, I had to bring my racket and everything, and his assistant at the time played tennis in high school, and I had to play him. He reported it, made an announcement before we played, and he had to come back the next day, and announced that I had to be his assistant, 6'3", 6'2". He underestimated me, I think, because people, I feel like when they just see me, I do walk like real lethargic and things, and all of a sudden, but it's like once you get on the court or a field, you turn into an athlete, and I think people just trying to take that for granted mentally, and then it's too late while you were playing. It's too late for you to kind of mentally regroup because I'm attacking you. I just already have a game plan, so it's just too late.
See, you remind me like a Yoda. So when I look at everyone looks at Yoda. And it's like, oh, this little old Jedi, he got the cane.
Right.
He can't do
That's how they look
nothing.
at me.
But when he found Dooku, when he had to fight Dooku, Mount Dooku or whoever, he was doing flips off the wall, being pouncing.
I think it's Count Dooku.
Or Count Dooku. Yeah. He had to fight Count Dooku. That's you. He's like, I walk lethargic. I'm just kind of big.
Yeah, he's not
Put
gonna
him in the
move
court.
well.
Yeah, all that lethargism goes
I would
away.
never have guessed
No.
that Big B was a tennis guy.
Yeah, I play every Friday. I have tennis. I have a men's clinic I play in tomorrow. I play every Friday, yeah, for sure. And then I play in the men's clinic on Wednesdays and sometimes Saturday mornings.
So how fast is the ball going? You ever tracked it?
No, I haven't got a chance to. I want to because I haven't got a chance to do that. I want to track like my serve and certain things, yeah.
What's your best part of your game?
My tennis IQ has grown, so I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
So knowing
Smart.
if I get pulled off the court, to hit higher cross court, to buy me more time to get back into the court.
Yeah, get back in, yeah.
Yeah, and then so I'm gonna say my tennis IQ, but my forehand is powerful. And then I've started learning how to slice. And believe it or not, I didn't like the net, but I'm now forcing myself to go up to the net more. But I know when to go to the net now too. So if it's a short ball, hit the short ball and continue to proceed to the net.
Hey, see, Ben Shelton, that's what your dad's trying to get you to do more. Trying to get you to go to the net more, play more of the 80s style tennis.
Yeah.
Is what this is talking about.
It can end the point quicker too.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't want to be in too many long rallies all the time. So I'm going to try to do things to get to the net and kind of end the point.
People think like long rallies are normal. Like the pros don't even have a lot of long rallies. You don't do, okay. You do know tennis.
Venus is the person who, if you go on YouTube, she gave me my first lesson.
What?
So that's how I got into tennis.
Bro, I would play tennis right now. She gave me my first lesson.
She's very patient. I feel like she should be a coach when she eventually retires. I feel like she should be a coach.
Did she yell at you? You said you don't like to get yelled at.
She's patient, very patient, and she had me out there for a long time, but she's very patient. You can tell she really loves what she does.
All right, so let's stay on the theme of getting yelled at.
Okay.
So, so your sophomore year, you're in high school, you're playing football, right? Something happens. I'm sure it's hot. You tired. You sweating, and then you get into it with your coach. Mm-hmm. Words are exchanged. I'm sure he probably yelled at you, and you might have maybe missed an assignment or didn't do something right, and you end up not playing football for the rest of that year. What was said with you and your coach?
I don't even remember what was said. I probably blocked it out. I don't remember what was said. I ended up going into the band and taking trips with them.
Because we feel that most of the time when like we talked about fights in training camp, right? It was like, oh, they just hot. They tired of going against each other.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if maybe I mispracticed something, but it was just something that it was just like,
So you just decided, I'm just gonna go do the band.
I'm just gonna get the band.
I went and did the band. I went on trips. They was going on trips and stuff, like while you were in school and stuff. I'm gonna join the band.
So that's why you did it.
But I also was into music too. I was big into music too.
Yep.
So like at a young age, my mom had got me like Casio piano, so I was like trying to make beats on there, and then took piano lessons at a young age and just did things. I was like into music, getting like CDs or cassette tapes and trying to pick out what song I feel like would be the next 2 singles. Like I was already trying to be an A&R and not realizing what I was doing at a young age. So
what's
music
A&R?
was already... A&R is the person who kind of puts together like the project for the artist, and like I'll pick the single maybe, or they'll pick like the songs that'll make it on the album, or also like the collaborations they work with.
I mean,
now, did you know how to play the bass when you was in the band? Because I couldn't picture
it's
you.
very easy, yeah.
Like you just all day.
Oh no, it's the bass drum. So
the bass drum.
Yeah, bass drum.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was
okay.
just nothing like just the bass of the beat. That was easy.
were you by far the biggest band member?
I definitely was the biggest.
Customized jersey, jacket,
Everything.
hat, everything.
Yeah, had to find some stuff to fit.
Knowing that you couldn't play football until high school because of the size restrictions and everything that you had growing up, how would you say that impacted your football experience?
I was learning everything for the first time. I watched it on TV, but like technically I was learning everything for the first time in 9th grade. I wrestled. My mom put me in wrestling first to teach discipline, and then I moved on to basketball afterwards to learn to work with others. That was her thought process behind it. And then when I finally got to football, it was just technique and IQ is what I really had to learn, because like I knew the basis of it, but now it's like technique wise, like how to. I went from being the defensive end to now playing offensive line. So for me, it kind of worked in my favor because I knew what I would do as a defensive end to offensive lineman. So now it's like, okay, now I have to kind of stop, or, I can already think like they think. So it kind of helped me out a little bit. And then when I got to JUCO, the guy was a JUCO All-American. And so it was like, he made me better because he was tearing me up the first couple of weeks. Like because he was, it was his second year, it was my first, and I'm moving over. I'm only like 240, 245 coming in. He outweighs me by like 20 pounds. He's like 260. I didn't really lift weights much like that until I got to college. So I'm still developing. I'm 17 when I first got there and I turned 18 till that September. So I'm still developing. And then the light bulb just went off one day.
You walk away from the team your sophomore year. You come back the next year, go into your senior year, get a scholarship. You go to a JUCO.
But this is how it happened. So I went to a small school, graduated probably like 89, 90 something people. There was a running back named Lamar Sturdivant who was really good. He was behind me. He was a junior. Somebody who I still don't know to this day mailed in the tape to the University of Iowa and was like, oh, you got to look at this kid. And they were talking about Lamar. And when they seen the tape, they said, who is that? And they seen me standing like 6'6" or whatever. Oh, who is this? So then they came to see him, and then they're like, we also want to talk to him as well. And it was after National Signing Day. They said, we don't have any more scholarships, but we have a communication with Lackawanna Junior College in Scranton, which was only 2.5 hours away from me in South Jersey. And they said, we can send you there, and then you'll learn how to play left tackle, and then you'll come to Iowa. So I was like, okay, just further my education. Not really looking at it because nobody really went to the pros during that period of time from my area. Somebody did like an 83, but like it was like 97 or so, like far removed. I'm gonna just continue my education, and I play football. Like I like playing football. I just continue to play football. Didn't have high expectations. I went, and then once again, I don't like to get yelled at. So teach me what I gotta learn, and I'm gonna just focus on that. So I went there actually my first season, and I became a JUCO All-American after that first year of learning how to play left tackle. But I told you, the guy I went against every day, he was a JUCO All-American. So it was like, I'm eventually learning how to block this man every day in practice. It has no choice but to make me better. You know what I mean? So he played a big part on developing me in that position. And then...
What was his name?
His name was Nate Rust. He ended up getting a scholarship to University of Maryland for football and baseball. And I feel like he's stuck more with baseball. So then after that season, Hayden Fry was the head coach at University of Iowa. He retired. So I had a letter of intent. So I couldn't talk to nobody. Nobody could talk to me. But now he retired, everybody could talk to me now. And I just became a JUCO All-American. So now all these schools can send letters and now communicate. So now I go into my second year, and I kind of finished again as a JUCO All-American. And then University of Miami just showed up one day, and I heard like guys talking like, oh, there's a guy from Miami here, a guy from Miami. But we don't know he's here to see. Like, we don't know he's here to see. Because there was a couple other guys on my team who went to like West Virginia, Rutgers. They were good players too. So we didn't know who he was here for. And then they called me out of class and we found out it was for me. So Art Kehoe was a guy who came and he was full of energy, and he's the one who came and talked to me in the office, and I ended up taking a visit to Miami and ended up coming to Miami.
Okay. So first of all, what's it like in Scranton, PA? Because but I only heard
it's
about
like a TV show called The Office or something. It's like based in Scranton.
Right. This is what we all know about.
It's where Joe Biden's from.
Yeah, right. Sleepy Joe's from there.
That is true.
Sleepy Joe. And The Office. This is like what we know about Scranton, PA.
It's a lot of hills. It gets cold. It's a lot of hills, like coal mines and things like that up there. I don't know. It's just a small town.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
it's
small
a small
town. That's what they say.
Probably look like
Yeah. And tell me this. So when you go on your visit, because you've probably only been to the East Coast, it's what it sounds like. And then you go down to Miami.
When I came to Miami on a visit, Miami is a totally different culture. When you come from up north and down here, it's like, first of all, the clubs are open till 5 o'clock. I'm like, what? So it's like, up north, things close at 2, but down here it's like you're taking on a visit and they want to keep you out till 5. I'm like, then you got to be up the next morning to walk around campus at 9 a.m. Not the happiest camper the next day. I didn't even go out the second night because I was so tired. So the first night I did hang out with everybody till about 5 or 6, and then it's like had to be up, walk across campus, go to dinners and everything. Second day they're like, "Come on, you ready to go out?" And I know they're happy because they got their per diem to take me out. And it's like, just keep it. I'm staying there.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
But I mean, I had a great experience here. What's funny is I actually had a real good experience in Arkansas. So it came down to Arkansas and Miami somehow. But Houston was out there.
Yeah.
And I just had a great experience there. And then also, my offensive coordinator at the JUCO, he went there too. So I feel like he was like saying little things to me too. But I had a good time. Miami, I just remember like kind of getting under the weather from like not sleeping too much and then like the weather change and things like that. But I like the overall, like my mom sort of realized it, like reminded me like who all went here. And I'm like, oh, they all went to Miami. So that played a part too in me making my decision. And then Coach Kehoe wouldn't let up. And then my whole family basically was like, are you crazy? Like,
you got to go.
Arkansas, like, what? You know what I mean? So everybody looking at me, I'm crazy. And even my head coach. And then I'm glad I made the decision I made, of course. So I ended up in Miami.
I think you made the right choice. I've said it. DJ Williams has said it. Jonathan Vilma has said it. Greg Olson has said it. Shannon Sharp has said it. The 2001 Miami Hurricanes is probably the greatest college football team ever assembled.
Yeah.
What was practice like? What was the locker room like? What was just? I'm asking like 8 questions in one, but like, what was practice like going against?
It was
first round picks on offense, defense, and
did y'all
special
even realize
teams.
how good you guys were, or you guys were just playing?
I don't think we realized how good. Like looking back, like we had all these guys on one team.
Right.
No, but I feel like everybody thought they were like the best at their position. Mm-hmm. And I remember even coming up to like my senior year, there was like you got like a full spread if you would like, they would do like by position, and like the number 1 would get like a full spread, and then everybody's like 2 through 5 would get like little boxes. And I remember the DBs and O-line, they got the full spread, and like the linebackers got like a little box. And that was like a joke. That was a joke, with everybody like, oh, y'all got that little box. But like everybody was so competitive and felt like, when we went out there to practice every day, that you were going against the best, each week. I mean, every day of practice. So when you got to a game, it should be a little easier. I feel like we used the weather to our advantage too, staying hydrated and going out here. And we practiced at like, 2 p.m. We didn't have no indoor facility, that people have now. Only time we came out the field was a lightning storm. Then we would come on the field. Other than that, if it's raining, we're still out there. We got to play in all these conditions anyway. So I think that kind of built character for us too. And I remember like a lot of times we said, by the fourth quarter, our mentality as seniors was by the fourth quarter is we should be up by 21 so we can give, the second string, which was people like Sean Taylor and Kellen Winslow and Frank Gore and all those guys, the opportunity to get in and get some reps. You know what I mean? And we did that for every game except 2 games.
That's crazy.
The fact that you just said we putting our 2s in and you said Sean Taylor and Frank Gore, like that's just how
Roscoe
deep the
Parrish,
depth,
like,
that's how deep the
very,
depth chart was. I don't think people actually
point.
understand that. Like that's the 2s and 3s were future first round picks. Like that's, I remember watching that season. I was still in college too. I didn't have that many first round picks on my team. But
Peanut and them, they were done by halftime.
So you was a team that got up at like 30, 40 points in the second quarter, and y'all put y'all twos in. Yeah, I was still in the game,
Still out there trying to get a tackle.
I was still out there trying to get out the game. Just it's like, damn, ain't no telling what they did. What did you think they'd have beat us?
Oh my God. They would have been bad. Peanut went to UL Lafayette.
Okay.
The University of Louisiana.
Thank you. Put some respect on it.
You know, I mean, they had some ballers. I mean, him and Ike Taylor were out there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was anybody else.
Okay.
So, you know, yeah, y'all would have beat them by 50.
Dang.
Easy. But yeah, so I know you've heard of this stat, but I'd like to get this on tape because I want to hear your mindset. All right. Bryant McKinnie is the last offensive lineman to have ever made the top 10 in Heisman voting. 2001 is when this happened. When you hear that, are you shocked? Are you surprised?
I definitely was surprised. Can
you imagine like why was you or
when they told me after the Heisman voting, because you know they only announced like the top 5, so like our media guy had told me like I guess that Tuesday and was like, hey, you finished in the top 10. I was like, what? Like top 10 of what? And he was like, the Heisman. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yes, people even gave you first place votes. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like I don't know, I just didn't expect that at all. And I was aware that Orlando Pace was the person prior to me. So I watched him a lot. Coach Kehoe used to have me watch him a lot on film. So I would try to mimic the things that he's seen. And he was kind of like, you know, I would say like somebody like your rabbit, the person that you kind of chase. And he was that for me. So I was like, okay, in his career, he only gave up 1 sack. So I can only give up 1 or none. Like, you know what I mean? So that was always my thing. Is like, okay, to be like him, you can either give up 1 at the most or just none at all. So
do you remember having to block somebody in college that was like, okay, this guy is a little bit of a problem?
Yes. Dwight Freeney.
Really? He was at what, Syracuse, right?
He was at Syracuse.
Was he spinning?
Yes, he was.
He was spinning back then.
He was spinning then. I feel like he introduced the spin to the league because and all of a sudden he got a lead and everybody's spinning now. But yeah, so the thing was, our junior year, maybe he was injured or something because we played up there in Syracuse. I didn't go against him. Maybe he was injured. I don't recall. But my senior year, it was like a big deal. Like they posted like these articles. He had like a sack, like a Santa Claus sack, but you could see through it and had all the helmets of the teams that he sacked before and things like that. Just all week long. Clinton Portis was just in my ear all week long. Like he always be like, "You scared?" Like he just would say, just whenever I had big games, he would always just bother me or whatever. But we prepared well, and then also who helped me get through that game is Mario Cristobal. He was our assistant GA coach at the time, assistant O-line coach, and he stayed with me and we watched film, and I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, is the offensive line making a mistake? Is he just this good? Like, you know, it's a combination of both. I was really just sitting here just trying to figure out what it is. I would watch when he would like to spin. I would see what he did when he spins. Sometimes he would grab cloth. So I knew, keep your distance. Don't let him get too close into your body. Use your arms and keep him away from you and keep moving your feet. A lot of guys, when he would chop hands, it's like for some reason guys would stop their feet and then, you know, he's going to continue to move and he'll get past you. So it was like, regardless of what happens with your hands, keep your feet moving with this guy. And I just had like a good game plan against him and it worked. But I couldn't wait to get past that game. That wore me out that week.
You were tired mentally and physically.
I was mentally drained. Like, okay, this is over finally. All week long. I even had Jerome McDougal come over the other side because he had a really good get off. And I had him give me pass rushes at the end of practice just to like emulate what he's seeing in Dwight too. So I just did it.
No, you really were worried about Dwight Freeney.
Because it's, all right, so my first year, my breakout game was against Florida State, Jamal Reynolds, who was a great pass rusher as well. And I was able to, hold him to no sacks. And I was just under the radar. That was my first like season. Nobody was bothering me. But then it came to like my second year, then like, he hasn't never given up a sack. It's like, oh gosh, why they say that? Like, I was doing fine.
They put that target on your back.
Yeah, so now it's like a big deal. I remember even playing Florida State the following year, my senior year, and the defensive end's last name was Jackson. He must have got a good jump on the ball, and it looked like he was going to get close to Dorsey, and I must have just pushed him like by like the last minute. They were losing the game, but the sideline erupted like, and I'm looking like, what's going on? What are they cheering for? And then they started pointing, he's going to get you. I'm like, oh, this is about me, because like the game's over for them. Like, y'all are losing, but now it's like an individual thing. Like, and that's why I really had to wake up in that game and say, regardless of like what the score is, you still have to make sure that you are on point, because they're trying to win the individual battle. At this point, it ain't about the team now. He's trying to get an individual battle. So that's what made me really lock in for the rest of the season and just realize like, okay, this is bigger than just a win or loss thing. It's like he's trying to like be the first one to get a sack.
So being a man of your size and your frame, do you have a welcome to the NFL moment?
Yeah.
And what was that? What was that moment?
I think I was, I don't know if we was on the road. We were on the road, and it was against Green Bay, and I couldn't hear. And I tried to use my peripheral, and I went to look, and the ball must was snapped, and somebody ran me like flat over. I wasn't ready, and I'm trying to think. I don't know if it was like Gilbert Brown might have been a D-tackle and came somewhere, like hit me, like somebody like ran me, like I went flat backwards. Like that was the first time, like,
you ain't never been hit like
I'm on the ground, like I barely fall. So like I'm on the ground, but I'm on my back like a reverse pancake.
Yeah.
That was the moment like, this ain't happening again.
I think my high school prepared me for college. My high school in Carpus Cove, Texas. Good football program. They prepared me for college. When I got to college watching film and doing all, it was somewhat a little easy. Do you think going to the University of Miami prepared you for what the NFL was like?
I think it did.
In Minnesota.
It did to a certain degree. Because you had guys that came back. You had Michael Barrow, Jesse Armstead, you had Edgerrin James, Bubba Franks. All those guys, they came back and they would train and work out with us. So they would tell us about the physical part. So you know about the physical part. You knew about the hour, the amount of time that you would be there. But the part that I missed, that I had to learn along the way, was like, as far as taking care of yourself, was cold tub. Like we did it at Miami, but when people get in the cold tub, getting your massages and getting stretched and all those type of things, I had to learn. Like, I think Randy or somebody was like, I'm getting a massage. I'm like, oh, y'all get a massage? You're like, yeah, but you know, when you're young, you be feeling like, I don't need a massage, but you do need a massage. So being around and just watching people, how they are pros and, okay, this is what you do, and they end up being like the last ones to start leaving the locker room because they're taking care of their body. Because I remember being, a rookie, and I'm seeing Dave Dixon, he was a guard. He might have been like 30, and I'm only 22, and I'm looking at him on Wednesday like, you still limping? What's wrong? What's wrong with you? I'm bad recovery. I'm like, feeling good. Was Sunday, it's Wednesday. But guess what? I got to be Dave A. And that first thing I thought about was, oh, this is how Dave felt. When I was coming like on a Wednesday, like, oh, God.
It's funny how like you age out. You go from the young boy in the locker room to the older dude. How it really does happen like that.
It does.
It happens real quick.
I'm gonna tell you another moment that made me realize I was older too. Is I was in Baltimore. I was in Baltimore, and it was a player. He was a rookie, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been watching you since I was 10." I was like, "What?" 10 is like, or fifth grade. I've been watching since I was in fifth grade, and I'm like, "Dang, I've been here for 12 years." So he probably was in fifth grade, and it's like, it just, you don't realize it until somebody actually says it, and it's like, sheesh.
Yeah.
Now you start to feel a little, oh.
I want to talk to you about 2009. That Vikings team was great. You guys had a ton of Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, I'm pretty sure, led the NFL in rushing that year. But tough loss in the NFC Championship game. Could you maybe talk to me about how great that team was leading up to that game, and then at some point get to the interception, of course, at the end of the game? What kind of happened? Because it was a penalty for 12 men on the field, like right before. It was a little bit of a mayhem right there at the end.
For some reason, that game, a lot of things went wrong. For us in that game, that didn't happen all season. That by far was the best team that I played with. As a Viking, that was the best record I had. That was the furthest we ever made it.
I think I agree with you.
And a lot of that is attribute to Brett Favre. When he came in there, everybody kind of they raised the level of their game up and their play up because they didn't want to let him down. And everybody on both sides of the ball. And that's how you know, like, certain people have that ability to do that. As you can see, Tom Brady can leave a team and go somewhere else, and people raise the same people's there. It's just now you add one person that can raise the level up. I feel like Ray Lewis was able to do that too. His final year in Baltimore too, giving him his farewells that he wanted. Adding Brett that year, I feel like nobody wanted to let him down, and then for him to come and actually be a cool person, because I feel like the media kind of painted him a certain way, like maybe a diva and things like that. So people weren't sure how to receive him until he got in there. He showed his personality and showed that he's a team player, and he just made it fun. Like there was times where, Coach Shill I feel like we were playing Detroit. We were trying to take him out the game. Brett would change plays. He would change plays in the huddle. A lot of times they were working. I feel like in Detroit specifically, they weren't working that day. And he wanted Tavares Jackson to go in. And Tavares says, well, if he's not coming in, I can't. If he's not coming out, I can't go in, and then a lot of people don't know, it was like an argument on the sideline between them, and Brett didn't come out, and we had his back, and we just going to do what we have to do. And we were able to pull out a win still, but a lot of people played for him. And I feel like just that's how it was, and that's how it is going to be with certain teams. Like I feel like he was able to bring everybody together and make it more family oriented, where you had a coach who kind of was causing a little division amongst the guys because people weren't sure if somebody going up there reporting stuff to the coach. And that's why it was like a little division, because people were feeling like things were being told or not sure, or if he's playing mind games with people. So when Brett came, all that got canceled out, and it was all about playing for Brett.
Yeah, that's how you guys were awesome, like immediately too. That year.
Yeah, because once everybody kind of got the energy and the vibe from him, and everybody wants to play, well in front of people. That's why I feel like even like for me when I was in the University of Miami, you had guys like Michael Irvin and Warren Sapp. You didn't want to look like a scrub in front of them, so you're going to play up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what people were doing when Brett came onto the team. So to make it to the NFC Championship, that was the furthest I've ever made it in my career. I think that was like year 8 for me, 8 or 9. We had like 5 turnovers in that game. We had one on like the 2 or 3 yard line going in. Like it was so many turnovers in that one game to only still lose by a field goal,
In overtime.
In overtime. Well, the overtime was different then too. It was like sudden death back then.
Correct.
So we didn't even get a possession. It's like they got close enough to make a field goal, and they were able to win. They changed it right after that season.
Yeah, they did.
So to have that many mistakes, it lets you know to still be in it, lets you know the team was a really good team. It just caught a bad break during that period of time. But in my mind, I remember we were driving going this way, and it's like, yeah, Super Bowl's in Miami. I can't wait. The next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm chasing somebody. I got on defense.
Back in college.
Right. And from there, like, oh gosh. And then when they got the ball, I was just hoping that they didn't, get a field goal range. But then they hit it. It was like, sheesh. I was a little depressed after that game because it took so long for me to even get to that point. But yeah. That was a tough loss.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. So this show is called the NFL Players Second Acts Podcast, and what we like to do is try to dive into what the players or former players are doing now in their second act. So tell us and our viewers and listeners what you, sir, are doing in your second act.
So my second act, right now I have a tech company called Let's Chat. So I'm the COO. So Let's Chat, we do 104 languages with 100 different dialects, and we do it based off your device setting. Because we do websites, we can do in-person presentations. Like we've done Tony Hawk's podcast. He had somebody who spoke Portuguese, and we did it live and translated back and forth so they could conduct the podcast. And it's in real time. So we even did the NFL for 3 years. So you might want to get us back, because I see y'all in Brazil and everywhere. So we did when the NFL had Game Pass, we did the subtitling for their games for like 3 years. And then it changed over to like NFL Plus, and there's something else now. I don't know what it is now. So Comcast, I did an accelerator program for Comcast, our company did, and they kind of liked our product, and they became a shareholder. And then like we're live on like Xfinity, and then we're looking to get like with other companies under Comcast, like WWE. We learned about the deep fake with WWE because we can do that in different languages. Like they want to go to different countries and have their wrestler speaking the language. So we know how to do the deep fake with the language and change the language for them and everything. So that, PGA Golf, like those are the different companies we're trying to work with now that's under Comcast. We're on like over like 600 different car dealerships right now. Bojangles, McDonald's. Bojangles, the CEO of Bojangles is actually from the University of Miami. So I was able to get us in the door with him. He was the former CEO of McDonald's, but he left and went to become CEO of Bojangles. And I would say the NFL, being in the NFL has its perks, and you're able to kind of get a network of people. So when you retire, you're able to do business with some of these people who you probably wouldn't be able to touch prior. You know what I'm saying? So that's helped me out a lot too, is just having that network and then being able to reach out to people and doing presentations for your product, and they understand it and they like it and they want to, bring you on board. So Let's Chat is on pretty well.
I want to also talk about what you're doing with other NFL players about helping them with their transition from playing and then getting into or finding their identity in their second act. I got into the mental health. So I have B Major Foundation, right? So we specialize in healthy kids, healthy living, single parent homes, mental health, and now I'm about to add on financial literacy. That's because a lot of kids are being younger and parents need to be educated with the NIL deals and just different things like that. But right now I'm very focused on the mental health part, because when I retired, there were 2 other guys who retired around the same time as me, and they were having breakdowns far as like, getting arrested and Baker Act, and I had to go to a psych ward for one person, and they felt more comfortable talking to me than their family. So in the midst of that, I had to be kind of the person who kind of navigates, between the family, the player, and even with the league and the NFLPA. How can we get them help? I knew they were sending guys away for like 30 days to like somewhere like Detroit and somewhere like Northern Florida, like different places for 30 days for treatment. And I was following up and making sure, and I was like, I need to just add this to my my mission statement. Mm-hmm. So I did. And then I started doing events called Cocktails and Conversations. And I would have different people from actress. I had Lisa Ray last year. I had Tommy Harris. I've had Ray Rice. I've had Sean T, the fitness trainer. I've had therapists, whether it's life coaches, therapists, all different type of people all speak on my panel, and we just have like a fireside chat where we all just discuss things and open to the audience as well to ask questions and just make those uncomfortable conversations more comfortable. And people leave there feeling good about themselves, but then they also realize they're not the only ones who go through things. And then a lot of people are able to share the stories of what they went through, how they were able to get through it. And it inspires other people in the audience. Because I've had friends after those, reach out to me and say, I'm so glad you had this because I was going through this and the other. And I'm looking at them like, I would have never knew. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of people know how to dress up and put a smile on their face and go out like nothing's wrong, but they're actually feeling alone inside. Or a lot of people, when they're going through something like hard times, they feel like they're the only one that's going through it or went through it. And when they hear other stories, they're like, oh, I can't get through this,
Yeah, well, I always said that's the one thing I probably miss about the locker room. I don't miss the tackles or anything else, but it's like the feeling of that you're never alone. Like no matter what you're going through, you can usually bring it up and somebody's like, yeah, dog, me too. Yeah. And how truly vulnerability equals strength inside of a locker room.
It does. And another thing that I was a part of was the NFL Players Choir. We did some stuff. We were like on America's Got Talent.
I wrote that down in my notes. You were on America's Got Talent. I was going to get to that. Yes.
Yeah. So we did sister act. Okay.
Right. So we did that, but then
happy day looking.
So that's a group chat in itself. That's a group chat in itself. But then with the Ravens, like a lot of us that played on the Super Bowl team, we're all in a group chat as well.
Yes.
And we just lost a teammate 2 years in a row now. You have Art Jones, who just passed the year before that with Jacoby Jones, who was all in our group chat, so it's like, but we were all able to be there for one another. I feel like the Ravens do a great job of reaching out and making sure that, we had a Zoom meeting for anybody who needs to have anybody, to talk to during those times and things like that. I feel like they've done a great job, in both situations. And then University of Miami, we have a group chat as well where we all are in there and we're all discussing whether it's the game or just what people have going on. So we need one for the Vikings because we don't have one for them. But those three situations, I'm in group chats, and the guys really like it and appreciate it because they can go in there and discuss things that they need to discuss.
Would you say that's what helps keep you in check with your mental health? Because you got a lot of things going on. Yeah. You continue to stay busy.
Well, working out helps me too.
Okay.
Working out is a big part too. So the more I got into this, is like working out. You just learn it gives off the good endorphins, and then your gut health plays a big part on how you feel mentally too. So I just started educating myself on a lot of things that make you feel good as far as your mental. And working out is a big part of it. And I feel like, when you play, a lot of guys are constantly, you have to work out. But when you retire, that's totally up to you now at this point. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys kind of get away from. I got bigger at one point because I was tired of weighing in every Friday. I was like, I ain't doing this no more. Until the time my shoe became a job, I said, sheesh. So I had to start get back working out and everything. But but having those people there and having accountability with other people and having workout partners, just different things like that kind of helps you out a lot. And actually, Ray Rice and I just went to Minnesota last Monday, and we spoke to the Vikings. They brought myself and my team up the year before as well. And we speak to the guys on mental health, and we talked about like what we would have done different had we known what we knew now. We talked about how to handle success, family, and outside pressure. We talked about life after the game, just talked about a lot of different things. So I just got a phone call today because they hit me and they said, we want to bring y'all back again next year, but this time we also want y'all to talk to the staff. So that we're adding that part on now. So now it's just the players the past 2 years, but next year's going to be the players. Have one meeting, and then we have a separate meeting, and we discuss things with the staff. And I'll have my therapist, Dr. Tasha, there with me as well.
That'd be good because they can actually learn how to maybe help the players out as well. Because a lot of times that's a big
and it's really
thing.
about what the staff is really about, making the players feel comfortable and being able to trust you, because that's the problem. A lot of players feel like, well, if I go to them, they're going to use it against me later. And if you feel like that, you're not going to trust them and want to open up.
No, not at all. Not at all. Can you woo, woo, woo? That's my next question. Can you woo, woo, woo? So you got dominated.
You are the worst. You're the worst. You're the worst.
So check it. You got nominated for 3 Grammys. Bro, that's big.
For a project that I did. Not for me, though. Not for me.
I was saying you got nominated for 3 Grammys.
I did.
Yeah. So you got nominated for 3 Grammys. It's like, that's big. That's not a small
That's
thing.
cool, though.
It
That's
is.
super cool. You got all these Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you, I'm competitive.
accolades.
So right, then the music. Because, at that time, I feel like when it came to athletes and music, like, they're just wasting their money at the time. They don't know anything.
I thought that for a while, yeah.
Right. I'm like, remember I told you, to piano lessons, I was in the music. I was a music person. So I'm like,
woo-woo
no,
for a while.
Right. So it's like, I really want to kind of get in here and really like put out a good project. I didn't know I was going to get nominated for 3 Grammys, but I just want to put together a good body of work to show like, I do have an ear for this. Like, I'm not just
absolutely
trying to just throw money behind somebody. I have a good ear for this. So
is it, I'm a rapid
I have Grammy
fire.
certificates and stuff.
So no. Oh, that's dope. Is it, do you sing? Do you find the talent? Do you pick up the beats yourself? Do you mix it? Do you
I can
on the bass, the drums?
So being a co-executive producer is you are the arranger. So you can arrange how the song is produced, as far as like finding the producer, arranging the order, like where the hook and everything will be, and the bridge and everything like that. Like you're just arranging it.
I got you.
So yeah, I'm not playing any instruments. I'm just arranging everything, and then how the album is like played, like what song go here, what song should be number 1, like all that's a part of arrangement. I just did that.
It's like an interior designer for music.
Basically, yeah.
You're just organizing and moving stuff. Yeah, you like that. I know.
So it flows. So
I did. That was a good one. All right, now B, this is something that maybe a little bit off topic, but I got to give you your flowers, because the one thing I've heard about you, and I've never been able to hang around you, is that the dude's got sauce.
Okay.
The dude's got sauce. All right. So how in the world does Bryant McKinnie able to go out in a nightclub and have Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Trina, and about 15 other
Did your research.
and about 15 others, and Big B right there with a great smile, with the same demeanor.
But you know what?
And it's just all love. And tell me that.
Because it's about making people feel comfortable, right? So once you bring out that barrier of, okay, they're now comfortable around you, they trust you. So now they can bring their guard down, and now they're going to actually enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? But if they have to keep looking and they don't trust the people that may be with you or things like that, then it's kind of like a little standoffish. But once you get them in an environment of, they feel safe, then the guards come down and you have a good time. And now they want to experience that again. So I call it the BMAC experience.
So BMAC experience. That's what it's called.
To the flip side of the BMAC experience. To the flip side of that, when did you know you had that? Because you are a large black
in high
male.
School?
So did you have to? Was it something that I'm a larger black male?
No.
Do I have
I identified as slim in high school, so
I identified as
in high
slim.
school. So my house was the house after everybody went to because like parents didn't get home till like 6:30. So you get out of school like 3. So everybody come over to my house. I was raised the only child, so I knew how to entertain everybody. Everybody come to my house after school, like just be going by 6:15. So my house was kind of like the social party house.
I just love the fact that when you talk, you don't even get it out and you just start laughing.
I might have a flashback. So just from high school and then just kind of just carried over to like college, just being social and just wanting everybody to have a good time. I felt like I couldn't have a good time until I seen everybody was having a good time, and then it's like, all right, now I can have fun. And just always like just kind of looking out for people and just make sure we had a good time. I always make sure we were safe. So even in Minnesota, they'd say like the party buses, we'll go out. I'm like, hey, we're gonna get a party bus. We're gonna all ride together and we're gonna ride back together. You know what I mean? So just to make sure nobody had to drive, drink or drive, anything. And I was always with that on transportation. I was even glad when Uber came out so you could start Ubering. But yeah, so I always make sure everybody was kind of like good.
Yeah. I like that.
I've heard from 4 different people about. They didn't all tell me it was called the BMAC experience, but it was all the same. The rides, the amount of people, the togetherness, no animosity,
camaraderie.
It's like
everybody got along. I don't know how you're just able to just put some good energy together, and everybody's with the common goal. We're gonna go out and have a good time.
This dude had all of them. Everybody together. Anyways, I just want to give you your flowers, my boy. I
appreciate it.
Because you did your thing.
I appreciate it.
Mount Rushmore, you get 4 picks. Mount Rushmore of greatness. You can pick 4 people who have helped you become the person you are today.
So wait, not athletes, just people in general?
Just people in general.
Oh, my grandma played a big part. I'm gonna say my grandma because she liked me playing basketball more, right? So when I told her I'm going out for football, she was like, oh, you're not going to like it. You're going to stay with basketball. I like you playing basketball better anyway. And that one thing is what pushed me to keep going.
Really?
So even when I went out to play football and I have my days like, do I really want to do this? I always heard her say, yeah, you're not going to like it. You're going to go play basketball. I'm like, get up, you're going back. So you have, in football, you just have those moments where you really question, like, is this what I want to do?
That's crazy.
Every step
that
of the
one
way,
sentence.
That one thing I remember and I held on to it. So, and I remind her every time. So when I got to JUCO, I was like, Grandma, you remember you said all the way to like Miami, draft day, she was there with me on draft day. And I looked at her and said, Grandma, you remember you said? And then down to when I won my Super Bowl, she found me first out of everybody in the family. She ran and found me first before my mom, dad, everybody found me. And I said, Grandma, you remember you said? And then when it came down to the College Football Hall of Fames, I just told her this week. My grandma just turned 90 in September. She's still here,
congrats,
y'all.
Grandma.
I love that.
I talked to her yesterday and I said, yes, I'm going to the Ring Honor this year. She said, I hope it can come on TV because she doesn't like to fly anymore. I said, we'll send you a video or whatever. And she was like, okay. I said, but remember how this all started. So just even up until yesterday, I just had this whole conversation with her. So she's definitely the top one up there.
I love that.
That's a good story. I love that.
Because she was the why I kept going, I don't want to make her right. So her, I'm going to say, my dad played a big part, but I'm going to say my mom actually, I feel like she kind of sacrificed more. It's like, she didn't get it, like, because I didn't play, I played late. So, like, she would ask me every week, like, you starting again this week? I'm like, yeah. You must be pretty good. Like, every week she would ask me if I'm starting.
Not if you quit yet, but just
are
like,
you starting?
Are you
starting again? Yeah, I'm starting again. Oh, okay. And then one time she's like, you must be doing pretty good. I'm like, yeah. So, I don't think it registered her until my senior year. Like, your son's actually pretty good.
She never asked?
She just would keep asking was I starting every week until like going into my senior year, and I feel like it started becoming more like in the newspapers and things like that more, and she started being able to see because she was in Jersey, so I guess she didn't really know what was being said here, but then we started making like like the news more, and she was like, oh, okay, so just her just for not knowing any better, and then I don't know who the 4th person would be. Oh, one of my coaches, coach at junior college. Coach Al McElroy, he was my O-line coach. He was the one who taught me how to play left tackle. And by me coming into to that JUCO, Lackawanna, he would take his time and I would go home after school and I would do my homework and he would pick me up at 7 o'clock and I would do my own personal weight training with him. Like, so everybody would lift weights right after school. They would let me go home and he would pick me up and I would go to his house and we would lift weights, like really like learn how to lift weights because I didn't have like a weight program in high school.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to go down here in the old school bench and we're going to work it out.
Swole.
Yeah. And that's what helped. That's what helped me develop.
Swole.
I love getting swole, dog. I just wanted to know the best piece of advice that your O-line and JUCO coach maybe taught you that's really stuck with you.
He had a saying called "Move your feet, you can't get beat." So regardless of what's going on with your hands, you know, sometimes people slap your hands. And I don't know why guys do it when they get their hands slapped. Sometimes like their feet stops, but like keep your feet moving. Your body presence can still, you know, make up.
Still,
you can just replace your hands eventually, but for some reason, guys, when they get their hands knocked down, it's like their whole body just stops. I don't know why. But me hearing that and always remembering, that's why I told you with Dwight Freeney, like, regardless of going on, keep your feet moving. And stay in front of them. Like, you know what I mean? So that was like a big piece that I kind of carried on with me. I had to face Dwight going into our Super Bowl run. We laughed at each other, like, cause like, it's year 12 and here we go again. Year 12, cause we're the same year. So like year 12 for both of us. First round of the playoffs, the Colts were at Baltimore and it's just like, we just looked at each other and like laughed, like, here we go again.
After all these years.
Yeah.
Running backs, receivers, DBs, they get all the awards, right? So now they have an NFL Protector of the Year award.
I like this question.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm glad they have it. Because it kind of gives, you know, the O-line some shine. Because, you know, the only time you zoom in on the O-line is they jump off sides, got a holding penalty. It's like, hey, it was him. It's like, dang. That's the only time you show us. So I'm glad there's something out there. I'm glad they're getting graded and stuff now, too. I feel like we didn't have graded. So when it came time for, like, Pro Bowls and stuff, it was hard to pick O-linemen because it was like...
You went off name recognition.
There was no stat. Yeah, it was like some guys will miss half the season and still make it because he had a good name. So it was like, dang, I done worked hard. It's like he's going to automatically make it just because his name and everybody's just used to making it. So I'm glad they have those things now to kind of give those guys a little more incentive and it just gives you something to kind of like rate, you know, the player and how they're playing that season. So I appreciate it.
And if you could design it, because you look like a creative, how would you how would you design the trophy?
I don't know, make some big hands that are like blocking or something like that. You know what I mean? Just like some pass pro hands or something.
Hey man, we appreciate you coming on the pod.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
I appreciate. Do you think we got the experience?
I want the real experience. I want the real experience. That's all I'm saying.
Make that happen.
Okay, deal. We're going to get out of here on that one because I don't want to hear anybody else. And I'm glad my wife doesn't watch this. All right, so wherever you pick up your podcast at, whether it's Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app, make sure you give us a follow, like, subscribe, leave a couple comments. We always love to respond. We love putting Thomas to work like that. And you can also check us out on the NFL Pages YouTube channel. Peanut getting us out of here, man.
I'm Peanut. That's my guy, Roman, and that's Bryant. And this is the NFL Players Second X Podcast. We out.